Hello.
Hello. How are you? How are those codes? Did you saw the shift?
We are feeling wonderful. We are enjoying your home, your environment that you have created for the beings that you care for. You are a wonderful keeper for the animals and the birds and the reptiles. They honor you. They are much grateful for your care.
There.
We have a message for you. When you are healing Cody, Cody needs a rainbow energy.
Okay.
Needs different crystals. Needs work on the chakras. You can send rainbow colored energy this will assist in the healing.
And healing from Mark and healing from past lives, all of it?
Physical healing is what we speak of.
Okay.
And emotional healing as well. But mostly physical.
Is that the heart? Physical?
It is physical
Okay.
at this time. It is what is needed to carry over, to complete.
Is he dying?
We are all, everyone is dying.
Is he passing over soon?
Everyone is. Soon is such a...
Tomorrow. This year.
We cannot say these words. We will not give you this information.
Does he have heartworms again?
We do not want to speak of this. We want you to be positive. We just want you to be in the frame of mind that has to do with healing Cody. Heal Cody. Do not think of illness. Do not focus on ill health.
What about Pele?
Focus on health.
Do I need to take him to the vet?
You can, for a wellness, to get well. Focus on wellness.
You can't, so something's wrong with him.
This is not what we are saying. There is never truly anything wrong with any creature.
Well, now I'm tetrified because of the last time we had heartworms, and he went through that. And
Do not be scared.
I can't go through it again.
Do not be frightened. Send rainbow energy. Wrap Cody in rainbow energy.
Okay, I will, but can't you give me something else to go on besides that? Because you're scaring me.
There is nothing to be frightened of.
Well, I don't want him to die in the next 2 years.
There is nothing to be frightened of.
I'm not gonna like Cody.
There is nothing to be scared of.
I just
Ever.
lost my mom.
There is nothing to be scared of. No energy ever dies. You are aware of this. Energy is never lost. Energy is never ending.
Can't you?
You know this.
Is something wrong with, like, does he have an illness? Or is it just something that he needs help with healing as of right now? Like Pele.
We seriously will not talk of illness today. We do not want to discuss this with you. We want you to stay in the frame of mind you are in.
But I'm not going to be able to do that, and you should know that. I'm going to be
We
petrified.
know that you are taking him, correct?
No, I'm not taking him anywhere right now.
Are you not taking him somewhere?
Pele. Are you talking about Pele instead of Cody?
No, Cody.
Pele is the one that has all the other issues.
We speak of Cody. Not that you have to take Cody to some doctor.
Well, he has to have a checkup. Like, he has to have the shots, and he has to have all this stuff.
Are you taking Cody to a doctor soon?
Not as of yet, no.
Who are you taking to the doctor?
Pele. Pele on
This is a totally separate issue. We are not speaking of Pele at this moment. We are just telling you a message.
Message.
We're giving you a message.
Well, does that mean that I'm going to lose him in 6 months?
No, this is not what we are saying.
Is that for his growth and healing? I thought he's going to be around with me
Yes,
for a long time.
we are telling you that he needs rainbow energy
But you said to pass over.
to help in his growth,
Okay, so...
to
he's not-
assist in his growth, so he becomes all he needs to be in this lifetime.
Okay, so he's not dying anytime soon. Okay.
You have a moment of fear inside of you.
I don't want to go through another death or suffering. I can't do it right now.
When you hear anything about illness or worry or healing, you immediately go to a state of fear.
I do right now.
Even when nothing is mentioned that has to do with illness.
Oh, my head.
Do you realize this?
Yeah, I do.
Even when you are given the words, send rainbow energy to an animal, there was nothing harmful in that message.
You just said to pass over.
To
sorry.
give him wonderful energy, to assist him in his life.
I will.
All animals, all creatures, all plants, you know this. You cannot live in a house full of animals, full of people, full of beings, full of energy. You live in a world that is constantly cycling. Things come and go endlessly.
But that's the part where it's hard.
Yes, but it is what is part of this world. It is what makes this world so precious. It is what makes this world capable of sustaining life. If it were not for the cycle of birth and life and death and rebirth, and life again, then the world would not be as it is. If the world was as it was when it began, humans lived hundreds of years, not 80 or 100 years, but 800 years. You are aware of this?
No.
No. When the earth was created, the first beings that lived here, that inhabited the earth, lived even longer. Some lived thousands of years and did not die and become reborn. When they left their bodies, they were complete. They lived just that one lifetime. And that was it. They did everything they wanted in one lifetime. They did it all. They did not return. And it was complete. But that limited the amount of souls. It limited the amount of beings that could inhabit the earth. There was a small amount of people. A small amount. And then there was a time when it was decided that this was not efficient. This was not the way it needed to be done anymore. It was time to change. And the world was wiped clean. There were some that survived. A few survived in deep caverns under the earth, but only a few. And when new people were born, it was decided that they would only live a short life. Only 30 years, 40 at the most. They had very short lifetimes. And again, there still were not many people upon the earth. Not many souls. What this allowed for was not many souls at one time, but many souls could try out the earth. If different ones could come and go quickly. If in 90 years, 3 different ones could inhabit that span of time, instead of 1, as it is today in most people's lives. And then, after a time, quite a long time. This went on, and it was good, because many souls were able to experience the earth. But then it was time to make another change. And the earth was wiped clean again. Only people, again, some hid. This is what occurs. This is the part of the earth, this cycle. And now, the next time, it was decided that they would live 800 years, approximately. Just 1,000, not thousands, but just maybe 500, 800, in that area. This is the time when civilization started to grow. This is when things started to take hold. It seemed that we were coming to a good mix. A lifetime that was long enough to accomplish something, yet you knew that it was not eternal. You knew that it was going to end. And when you know it is going to end, you are encouraged to do something, to be ambitious, to be the best that you can be, to go forth and accomplish what you want to do, to invent what you want to invent, to paint, to write, to create. And this was good for a while. And then there were some that started to take advantage of this. And the lifetimes gradually started to become shorter because wars broke out. There was much fighting. There were other things that occurred. And it was decided that the earth was to be wiped clean again. And this is the time that most are aware of, when God sent the message to Noah. And after this is the time that you are in now, when most live not more than 100 years. But now, due to medicine, which is a natural occurrence, inventions happen that prolong life. So life sometimes is 75, 60 years. Others now have extended it past 100 because science has taken over. But there are many, many people upon the earth now. What has happened is now there is a situation where you have many souls experiencing the earth at the same time. You can have many, many souls at one time upon the earth. But the earth, if not taken care of, cannot sustain that quantity of souls. So our only suggestion, because a promise was made that there would not be another purposeful elimination. But the earth will do what the earth will do. And in the past, that has been what has happened with some of the situations when there has been a wiping clean. It has not been just a decision that has been made. It has been the earth making a decision as well. It has been Gaia making a decision as well. There is much involved, as you are aware. Everything has a life. Everything is living. The crystals you showed Dianne earlier, you know that they are living, correct? Mm-hmm. You will sit with them. We suggest you sit with each one quietly and let them speak to you. You can feel their energy. They have a voice. And not just those crystals, but all of your stones, all of them over here, all of them around your house. The water in your pool has a voice. All of your animals speak loudly. The leaves on the trees, the grass. And yet you cut the grass, you trim the bushes, but you do not cry when you do this.
Oh, I trim my trees back, I cry. I do.
Then we honor you for that. For you understand. The man that will come and clean your pool, if he drains the water, there is a change that occurs. If they take beautiful spring water from the pond and add chemicals to it to allow it to stay fresh, there are certain organisms that will die in the process. Those small organisms had a life. But they are okay giving their life so that you may enjoy the pool. It is what they are willing to do. They accept that. They know that that is their place in this world. Everything has a place. Everything has a mission. You have a place. You have a mission. You will discover it. If you take everything you come into contact with and learn from it, then you will never be sad. You will never be angry, because you will look at everything in a positive light. Even those things that seem negative, you will say, well, if you miss your exit on the road, you will say, well, maybe I wasn't supposed to go that way, because if I had gone that way, maybe the universe was preventing me from going on that road so that I wouldn't get in an accident. Instead of getting upset and saying, now I'm going to be 15 minutes late, you say thank you to the universe for saving you, for preventing you from going on the road. Even though you don't know what it prevented you from. Just stay positive.
A while back, you guys said that I have 3 times in my lifetime where I would have the chance to go, like to leave. But okay, so when I hear that, where do I go? I go to, okay, well, I'm going to either get into an accident, have cancer, be on deathbed, and I'm going to be crippled. So it would be like my mom, where she had these chances to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's how, and I don't know, I take things, because my mom, I mean, she had several chances to go, and
Oh, several chances. It could mean when you're 95 years old. It could mean when it could have been when you were a child, when you were a baby.
okay.
It could have already happened. One of them could be past already. Maybe you were eating some food and almost choked. We are not looking specifically at you. We are sharing circumstances that can happen in anyone's life. We will share one that we are aware of in Dianne's life. She was young and she was on ice, and it was very thin. And there was a dog that was barking and grabbing her by her coat and pulling her off the ice. And she kept going back out on the ice. And she was only about 4, maybe even less. She would go back out on the ice, the dog would pull her back to come off the ice. And she would cry and go back out on the ice. And after this happened about 3 times, her mother said, enough, just come in, stop, just get off the ice. And almost as soon as she got off the ice broke right where she was. So had the dog not done what it had done, she would have fallen through the ice. And that was one of her lifetimes. That was one of the times, not lifetimes, but one of the times when she would have gone under the ice.
So then what prevents that from happening? Like in those situations, because there's a lot of them.
What prevents her from leaving?
Yes.
Her higher self at
So
that,
her higher self says, okay, it's time, we're going to go do it.
or not.
Okay.
It is a decision that is made by
In that
your
moment.
higher self, made a decision at that time, whether you are ready to leave the earth or not. Sometimes people make a decision to leave when they are very sick.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, one of my Carrie's husband shot himself.
And sometimes people try to commit suicide and they are not successful. I'm sure you've heard of the people who do that. They try and they are not successful. And that is a situation when their higher self decided that it was not the time to leave. Or maybe that wasn't even a situation. It was just a call for help. Maybe that wasn't even one of their opportunities to leave. May not have anything to do with that. Sometimes one of those opportunities to leave could be just when someone's driving down the road. You may not ever be aware of it. So don't always think it's something very dramatic.
Okay. That's just where I go. I don't know why. Okay.
Yes.
I think for today. I don't know if I have any more.
We are fine.
Do you have anything else?
No, we are very pleased with your advancement. We believe that you are succeeding in what you have set out to do in this lifetime.
I don't feel like it.
You are.
Oh, I do have a question for Mark, because I love him so much. So these lifetimes he was with me, he had a lot of anger, he has a lot of control, he has a lot of different issues that came through each lifetime that continue to stay the same. Now, is he, okay, I don't know how to put this, because I don't know how to ask, I don't know where.
Well, just say it.
Okay, so was that his intention to help me to be that type of person? Or is that the type of person he is and he still has a lot of other healing to do? Because he's a mess. I know I'm a mess, but he's just covered in anger and just covered in all this stuff. And every past life I see him, was that just to help me out and say, okay, well, next lifetime I'm going to be this healer? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand?
Yes,
I don't
we
know
do.
how to ask
We
that
do.
question.
We do understand what you are saying. He has.
Can he go back to just all
There-
love?
There are a couple things happening. His energy
It's very dark.
is different than yours. He has a very reptilian energy.
I'm seeing the tegu as you say that. Okay.
He has he loves, but it is different than the way you do. And so it is,
His love is money.
it is,
If you do something good, it's love. If you
it
don't-
is useful to be helpful to you. He is able to assist you when you need help in certain situations. He can assist in helping you grow. You are correct in this. In certain lifetimes, he can come through and play the bad man. He can come through and play the very mean person so that you can learn and grow. But at the same time, he learns and grows as well. Do not believe that he is not, because you have asked him to do these things, and he is doing as you have asked.
But he's also asked, has he asked me to do things too?
There have been times.
But is this lifetime more about me?
Most lifetimes are a balance. He gets what he wants because he likes different things. There are times when you will make concessions. There are times when you've made concessions. But he is not the only man that you have had lifetimes with. So there
I
is.
just want to,
But in this lifetime, and in many that you have looked at, he has had the same energy.
like my dad, like Mark, yes.
And it is because you are following that path from this lifetime back. So when you do that, you are looking for other similar energies. You are not looking for something different. You are familiar with what he is like now.
Okay.
You are familiar with your relationship now. If you saw him different, you might not recognize him. And we can tell you he is not very different even when he is different.
Now, does he want to change into more of the loving aspect, like more of the healer? Like not healer, but more of the, like in other lifetimes? Is he gonna?
We see him, he is always strong. He is always in control. He likes to be in control. He does not like to be out of control. This is part of the problem. Because you come from a line, as Dianne does, of a very female, matriarchal society.
Right, but
Where women have been in control.
right, but in lifetimes coming, I mean, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over
No,
again.
you are settling it, are you not?
But I'm not settling him.
You do not have to settle him. It is not your place to settle him.
But I feel,
Are you settling yourself?
yes.
That is all you can control, is you.
No, I feel, well, with my dad and doing the forgiveness work, that was huge. And,
But you do not. You are not in control of other beings.
I know, but I just would like him to see.
He is fine. He will do what he needs to do for his own path.
But what is his own path?
He will grow, he will change, but he will always be very,
Even in other lifetimes?
very powerful. He will settle a little as he gets older, even in this lifetime. In this lifetime, you will see him change a little. You will feel better as he gets older. Give him 20 years and you will see a change. He will change. Just a little. Enough that you will feel better. It will take a little bit of time.
Now, did my mom greet my dad? You know?
Your birth dad?
Yeah.
We don't believe she greeted him, but we believe that they have connected. They have met.
Have they both healed?
Yes, your mother has healed. Your father is in the process.
Now healing, okay, so when you look at healing,
Yeah.
my mom, okay, lived with him again. So healing means, okay, did she heal? Like I healed from that, my father's experience differently than she was able to. Because she didn't deal with the same forgiveness work that, you know what I'm saying? Like I did more of a past life because when I saw him, that's where it went to mainly. It was a really cool connection that we had. But does she have to continue to move on with him, or how does that end, that connection?
Who are we speaking of now? Your
My
mother
mom.
and your birth father?
Yeah, like how does that end? Like how do you heal that? Because when you say when you're in that state, this lifetime sort of gets foggy, sort of, right?
Yes. That is another situation. We do not know that we are allowed to speak to you of that. But we can tell you that they will come to an agreement. It will be that the agreement that they made for this lifetime was for your benefit. Much of what occurred was to put you on the path that you are on, to set you up for this lifetime. There is a lot that goes into making a child, to creating just the right environment that will nurture a child in the way that that child is requesting to be nurtured, whether it is in a positive nature or a negative nature, or in a very balanced nature. And it is the child that asks for that to happen. I mean, you have your request for your life, and then Evan has his request for his life. So there are things you are doing for Evan. It's very complicated, but it all works out very nicely. It's a beautiful painting.
That's for another day.
Yes. Or
that's
your,
intense.
when you look at your, have you seen the backside of, I think we have said this before, but we shall say it again. When you see the backside of stitching, it is very messy. There are threads going this way and that way, and it doesn't look like a beautiful picture at all. It looks like a mess. Mm-hmm. You do not understand you do not see any design at all. There are threads hanging, there are knots, there are lines going from one direction over to here and from this direction over there. Nothing makes sense. When you look at it, you think it is a total mess. And you cannot understand why. Why does it look like this? But then, when you turn it over, when it is all finished and you look at it from the front, it is a beautiful design. Beautiful, stunning work. It could be a bouquet with flowers in it of all different colors. All different types of stitches. There could be 20 different stitches done in 100 different colors with special beads placed throughout. And that's the way the world is. When you are looking at it from the earth, when you are looking at it from the physical, sometimes it's a mess. You don't see the order. You don't see the beauty. You have to rise above. You have to break through the other side, the veil. You have to break through the surface and look at it from above. Not from underneath. Don't get pulled down, but lift up and look at it from above. And then you will see the beauty. And we will leave you with that thought.